Hello and welcome to today's training. This is probably going to be one of the most important trainings that we're going to be referring to, we're going to be going back to, that you're going to be thinking about day in and day out while you're in this program and beyond. That is the intention. That we'll be working on this groundbreaking intention today of finding out what your happy place is, how to get it, how to access it, and how to become powerful from that spot. All right? Now, what we want to do today is that we want to describe what this place is and find out what it is ideally for you. Everybody needs this. They need a happy place in their life that they can go to as a refuge to draw in their own power, to draw in their own strength, to feel strong and confident about who they are and what is going to become of their decisions, their actions, their intentions, their day, their week, their month, years, and their life. All right? It is vitally important that you focus in on today's training. Turn off all the distraction. Get some notepad paper out because we're going to dive in. You're going to be taking lots of notes. You might even have to pause this, rewind it, listen to it 5 or 6 times, and that's quite all right because this will be very powerful, and I will be calling on you to talk about it regularly, and we'll be resorting back to this regularly when in times of doubt, discouragement, frustration, any of those situations. All right. So who is this for? This is for anyone in the world. Okay. When we talk about mindset training, that's basically what this is it's going to be all up in your head. It's imagination at its best. And then we're going to be drawing on powerful resources inside you to create your own motivation, desire, intention to move you past any obstacle that may stand in your way. Move you past anything that could potentially shut you down or would have shut you down in the past. We're going to knock out and obliterate any and all of these negative thoughts that have been around for years. We're just going to kick them in the butt and get them out of here. So that's who it's for. It's just specifically for you. I'm designing this training with you in mind, and I want you to just soak it up and use it all the time and be resourceful in this, okay? Now, what is it? All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through what your happy place is and truly identify with that. Now, I know that your happy place is kind of a silly, corny thing, or like your power animal or any of that stuff, but when you take it into truth in yourself, then you're going to be able to stand tall and be proud of who you are, what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish, and actually accomplish this stuff. So what is it? We're going to build a house. And there's going to be many layers of depth to this, all right? So you're going to have to write, take notes, buckle up, and get ready to rock because we're going to be putting the pedal to the metal as we go through all this. Now, why have your happy place? I think I just mentioned. We want it to be a place where you can become resourceful. Oftentimes, we know that what you desire, you already have the answers to on the inside. It's within you. It's not a matter of trying to go find something. It's a matter of trying to find it in yourself. Okay? That's the truth of all of this. You need to be resourceful and decisive and look inward to find the answers that are going to best serve you moving through any obstacles, negativity, or any of that stuff, anything holding you back. So we want to have this because you're going to be resourceful and you're going to be able to go to this place in refuge and collect yourself, collect your thoughts, collect your energy, and leave that place strong and confident and focused on the outcome that you want. Focused on the abilities that you have. Focus on the opportunities that are present right now in front of you. All right? So that's why we're going to have it. because you're going to go into your happy place and you're going to come out so much stronger, so much more passionate, so much more energy, so much more intensity than you had before you went in it or any other time of the day or even the week. Now, how to create it, that's what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be going through steps of how to create this, what it actually looks like. What is your happy place? And lastly, just talked about when to call on it. This is an everyday thing, people. This is something that you need to do every single day to reaffirm, to recommit, to stay strong, to stay positive, to stay moving in the direction that you want. Because if you don't, you've lived that before. You have focused your energy on not getting anywhere. You've fallen into traps in the past. You have succumbed to the stresses of life or the obstacles that stand in your way. We don't want that anymore. I need you to stand tall, stand strong, and be confident in who you are and what your goals are and what you want to do at succeeding at life. All right? So, first off, let's create your happy place, all right? So, we're going to build a structure. You could probably think of it as a house. It could even be a cave. It could be all sorts of different things. It could be in your imagination and not have any form at all. But let's rewind from that last part. We don't want to get too out there with that, but we want to make sure that it's a location inside your head that you can go to when in need. All right, so here's some ideas to think about. Where is it? Is it on a beach? Is it actually on the water, like a lake house? Literally on the water. Is it on a boat? Are you on a mountain? A mountaintop? A side of the mountain? At the base of a mountain? Is there a meadow? Is it in the desert? Is it with a creek? There's a creek or a river right next to it. Are you deep in the woods? Are you just on the edge of the woods? What continent are you on? And lastly, are you in space? No, I'm joking. Now I just want to live on a spaceship. But so what we want to do is think about the details of this. So let's go to like the beach setting. What beach? Is there a favorite beach of yours, or is there one that you've never been to? Are there big sandy dunes, or are there long stretches of beautiful white clear sand that are just soft and cool to the touch? If you're on water, is it built on stilts above? Are there waves crashing around? Are you on a lake? Are you on an ocean? Are you on a river? And what's the noises that you hear? That's very important. What are the animals that are around here in this place? What are the things that you see? Is there a green grassy meadow with just beautiful wildflowers everywhere? Or do you have landscape? Is the property landscaped and it is just very neat and organized? Or do you have rock features? Maybe you're in a desert and you have lots of rock features, right? You're living in a canyon, in a cave. You could go back to something like that if you really wanted to. All right. Or the woods. Are you deep in the woods? What type of trees are around you? Pine trees, oak trees, maple trees, any of this stuff, right? So you get my point. I want you to think and write it down on the paper right now. Where is this ideal spot at? Do it right now. Where the heck are you living? Where is this happy place located? All right, now, as you walk up to it, is there a path? Is it rock? Is it stone? Is it dirt? Is it something, a bridge? You know, what are you walking up and what do you see? What is the physical structure? We talked about what the land around it would be, but what is the physical structure of this place? Is it made of brick, metal, glass? Is it made of sand, dirt? Is it in a tree, like a tree house? What is it made of? Write it down. Is it made of ice? Are you in an igloo? Maybe that's your thing. No one's going to be all going up to Antarctica to go bother you. So you have some peace and quiet to yourself. to get valuable insights and just stillness and peace inside. So we're walking up to the front door. As we get to the front door, what is it made of? Is it a big, giant, impressive, epic wood door you might find on like a castle? Or the other day I was just at an old courthouse, and they had these huge 15-foot doors that were just solid wood that were like 5-6 inches thick. They were just huge, massive doors with very ornate wood features on them. Or is it a simple, small door? What color is it? How do we get into? How are we opening up to get into your happy place? Write it down. Now, this is probably one of the most important parts of this room, is that once you go in, nobody is allowed in it. Nobody is allowed in it. And this is super important because any of those thoughts, any of those ideas, any of those stories, any of that mind trash that is inside your head, you can leave outside and let it blow away in the wind. All right? We definitely don't bring any of the mind trash, that negative mind trash, into your happy place. This is a place of refuge that you can gain power, strength, insights from to create decisions that move you toward the goals of your life. So that's important. Now, so we open the door, we walk in, and inside the room, again, no one's allowed. So this is your space. I want to describe, there's a couple features inside this room that are going to make all the difference. They're going to be tools for you to call on and use throughout now in your time with the program or in the future. And I want you to never forget this stuff, because it is so important to cultivate and to nourish this idea and use these tools that I'm about to share with you to become strong and confident and all those fun words that I have been mentioning. Being yourself. This is where you're going to find yourself, is in your happy place. Now, I want to talk about the fabulous foundation. All right, that's the base of this happy place. It's got to be strong. It's got to be cement or metal or something rock solid that's never going to break. Oftentimes, what happens is that people go out into their structures. Their foundation is weak. There's cracks in it. It's made of weak old wood, and it's shaking. It blows around in the wind, and you walk in and you hear the creaking and cracking, and it's scary. And that's a sense of your confidence. That's a sense of your inner thoughts of yourself. You don't want to go walking into a house that's unstable. It might crash down on you. So we want to make sure that we have a fabulous foundation to stand this place in. And how we do this, one of the first tools that I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you stack 50 to 100 cool, awesome things about yourself. All right, this is incredibly important, because the more that you dive into the cool things that you've done in your past and currently are doing, the more confidence you're going to have in yourself, and the more you're going to see how cool of a person you actually are, and how cool that you are here, and how cool and how much possibilities that you have in front of you, because you're going to be able to see these opportunities when you realize how valuable you are. I told you once already, God doesn't make junk, and you're no exception. All right, so that's the fabulous foundation that you need to. After we get done with all this stuff, I'm going to expect you to do this. So I want you to write out what are the things that are going to solidify you. What are 50 to 100 things that are so important about you that make you unique, make you your own personal self? Okay, that's what I want to know. Who are you, and what's so cool about it? Now, next up, under all the furniture, there's a couple pieces of furniture. We have a table, we have a chair, okay? And under that, we have the rug of relentlessness. This is a tightly woven rug that you can stand on, knowing that you are going to be bound by strength, bound by these awesome things that we just talked about for the foundation, the relentlessness that it's going to be for you to stand in your own power, to be you. Because when you go out of your happy place, you're going to need that relentlessness, that determination, that discipline to follow through on the actions and the behaviors and the decisions that you need to make that are going to allow you to live in your ideal body, your ideal world, doing the things that you love. Any and every choice and decision you make is completely 100% on you. You are choosing your existence right now as we speak and as you listen. So we have the rug of relentlessness. What is that? Is it woven fabric? Is it mesh? Is it cloth? Is it cotton? Like what is it? What is there a design in it? Picture this in your head. How big is it? Is it a 5x7? Is it a 8x11? Is it just a gigantic thing that you got to roll down? Like this room could be huge. This room could be huge, or it could be just a normal size room. My room is very large, and when I picture my fabulous foundation, it is built of concrete and metal and titanium, because I know how cool I am. I know how important of a person I am. I know how much influence I have and how much power I can stand in that. So when I go out into the world or when I do anything, I have conviction and I have determination to accomplish whatever it is I set my mind on. So there's the rug of relentlessness. Now on top of that rests our chair of confidence. Now when I picture this, is it kind of like a Game of Thrones? Like a king or queen chair? Or is it just a simple plain chair? It doesn't have to be anything overly elaborate. It could just be whatever it is that you want it to be. Now, what's going to happen here in this chair is that's where you're going to get your confidence. You're going to sit there in a strong, powerful position, because that's where you can think and meditate and look across your room and be in this happy place where you are strong and making solid decisions for yourself. So we sit in this chair with a strong, confident posture. Think about this. What's the difference between someone who is happy and someone who is sad? It's literally like half an inch. Now think about this. Sit up in your chair right now. If you're listening, or if you're standing, stand tall. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. I want you to lift your shoulders another inch higher. I want you to have your head up another inch higher. I want you to roll your shoulders back. I want you to stand in a strong, confident, or if you're sitting, get up. Sit tall. Be like a superhero. You know, how would a superhero? They stand with their hands on their hips, their chest tall and out, and they are there, confident in who they are, knowing that they have superpowers and they can go change the world and save the world. And that's you. I want you sitting in your chair of confidence in that posture. This refers to the state, your physical state, your mental state, your emotional state. And when you stand in this strong, confident, superhero-like state, then you can be empowered to go forth and have relentless action and determination this win. Now, on the flip side, what's a sad person look like? What's someone who's doesn't have an injury? Their head's down, their shoulders rolled forward, they're kind of slumping, they're slouching in the chair. They are not in a strong, confident position. So I need you to sit tall in your chair of confidence. All right, write it down. Write what it looks like. Write how you sit in it and what type of energy do you feel when you are in your chair of confidence. Now, next to the chair, your chair of confidence, we have the belief table. All right? The belief table. Now, your belief table is built on choice. Now, typically, tables have more than one leg, right? Now, we know what would happen with a one-leg table. It's not very strong and wobbly. And generally, a three-leg table isn't that strong either. Two is just like one. It'll fall over. It'll tip over. So we need at least 4 or more table legs there on your belief table. Now your belief is a choice. Your belief, we want each of those legs to stand for something. Something that you believe about yourself that is universal, that is inspiring, bold, and gives you that belief of you can do this. You take no prisoners. Nothing's going to hold you back. All right. Now in my belief table, it is this solid piece of wood, and the table legs are thick and robust, and what they stand for is my confidence and courage to be who I am, my underlying determination to move forward through any obstacle, and I've overcome quite a bit of them, as we all have, and it all came from in understanding this belief. So I want you to write down like 4 very strong beliefs that you want to have, and when you're in this place, they are solidified in you, okay? You can go to the dictionary and find some adjectives for courage or strength or confidence, determination. Look up what are the words that you identify with the most. All right, so that's your belief table. This has to be strong. This has to be confident. Now, on top of the belief table, we have like a secret weapon. We have a book. And in this book, this is something you need to look and write in every single day. Literally having a book that you can write in every single day. Now, on the flip side, we have 2 sides of it, okay? And it's just super easy. You take a simple notebook. It could be spiral, it could be bound, doesn't matter. Simple, if it has lines or not, it doesn't even matter. Is it leather bound? Is it a leather cover? Is it made of plastic? Is it, what is this journal? What is this book? I picture mine as this giant, thick, almost like encyclopedia book that I can pull these massive pages that have real solid texture to them, and I write with a pen that the black ink soaks into the page, and I can write in it, and it creates this image of strength, of boldness, and that's what the black is on this very coarse textured paper, fibrous paper. Now, this is your brag and gratitude journal. This is not only in your happy place, but in reality. I want this to be something that you physically have. Okay. So what you do on one side, you start with your brag. You need to brag about yourself. You need to be standing up for yourself. You need to be showing the cool things that you've done in your life that are awesome. And it could be from things that I remember of myself, from the really kind of the physical achievement things. I've ran a marathon, mini marathons. I've ran the Boston Marathon. I've ran a 50-mile race. I've done triathlons. I've done CrossFit events. I've squatted over 300 pounds. I've deadlifted over 400 pounds. I've broke 5 minutes in a mile. I've, what else? I've swam a mile. I wish I would have done an Ironman. I wish I would have been in there. Currently, that just is not a reality for me. I've got too many kids, but that could be another thing. It's okay, so there's the physical things. I have 4 kids. I have 3 boys and a girl, and that can go in there. And I can talk about how I'm an awesome father, how I take care of them, and I can talk about my character traits as a husband. I can talk about I volunteer. I'm a Rotarian. I try to do good in the world, and I can talk about how I was 9th in my class, my graduating high school class. I can talk about how college was easy for me. I could talk about, how, let's see, what's one more thing that's really cool about me? I can talk about how funny I am. I think that's one of the main things that attracted my wife to me. We were high school sweethearts. We were in the band together, and we were band geeks, and we actually kissed at band camp. And so that's another cool thing. I've known my wife for so many years, and that is really strong and a good part of my relationship and a part of me. Now, so that's the brag. So you're gonna brag about yourself. Okay? Like literally. So figuratively in your happy place, but literally like you're going to have a book that you're going to write on. So you will fill this up day in and day out with cool things about you. You're going to amount a large amount of things that you forgot, that you really kind of like what's the best type of food that you make that everybody loves, or like what's, how cool of an aunt are you, or something to one you, or, looking at like potentially becoming a grandparent, like how cool of a person you're going to be. So we want to build that up. This is kind of coincides with the fabulous foundation, but that's its own self, okay? That's a stack of building your own foundation of who you are and having that there as the base of your happy place. And then the brag journal is something that is ongoing, that you continually work on and building this coolness factor of yourself. We flip it over, literally just take it, flip it over, open it from the backside, and you write gratitude. And I mean gratitude about like your mattress, and gratitude that you can walk, that you have clothes that you can put on, that you get to eat every day. If you eat 3 meals a day, you're doing better than, 75% of the world. If you have a car, you're doing better than like 75% of the world. If you're drinking clean water, you're doing better than 90% of the world almost. Okay? If you're making more than like $50,000 or something, like you're in the top 10% of the world in terms of income. Now, we need to be grateful for all sorts of things. So I'm grateful for my loving and supportive wife. I'm grateful that I have 4 kids. I'm grateful that they have their each individual attributes. I'm grateful that, what else? That my current living situation is just provides for me in my current state of where I'm at in life. My kids walk to school literally right next door. I've worked out of my backyard for 2 years, making a great living, doing what I love, and I've been so thankful and grateful for it. We have to stop every day, because gratitude serves positivity and it nourishes the mind. It's like fertilizer for your mind, and it kills the weeds. Weeds are so easy to grow. They are relentless. They will grow any which way that they can, in any place they can. They'll try and get into your happy place. And I can't tell you enough. Like, these are tools that you need to be using day in and day out. So brag and grad journal. One side, you're writing really cool things about yourself. On the flip side, you're talking about every single thing that you're grateful for, from the sun rising, that you're even alive, that you were even born. That is like, there's millions of other opportunities at that moment of conception when you may not have existed, okay? So it's just a miracle that you're even here on this floating globe in the middle of the universe, okay? That's a pretty cool thing to be grateful for. Now, I want to talk about 2 more things that are going on inside this room. Now, when you look around on the walls, first, like, what are the walls like? Are they like wood planks? Are they shiplap, like the Gaines, the Joanna right now? So all that, is it real chic type of thing? Is it very luxurious? Is it more rugged? Like, what is it around you? And on the walls, we have our frames of fantastic. And I want you to look around and find inspiring things. They could be quotes, they could be images, they could be pictures, they could be people that were create inspiration in your life. I mentor a kid at one of the local high schools, and he talked about how Martin Luther King Jr. was one of his inspirations, and what that guy did, and the dream that he had, and that could be very much someone that would be on his wall, because it's making a very positive impact in his world. So what are in the frames of fantastic, and how many are there in your room? I want you to write this down. Put it up. Do you have your best favorite quotes? Do you have a bunch of pictures of heads, faces? Do you have pictures of things that have meaning to you, like physical objects? Okay. Like I could totally see a picture of my shoes that I ran my first marathon in. Super important moment for me. I trained many years I trained many years for that, and I trained the whole year that after I decided to do it. And it was relentless pursuit of getting mileage in every single day, running every single day to get what I knew. Now, so that's your frames of fantastic. And last up, we have our shelf of opportunity. All right? Our shelf of opportunity. Oh, two more, sorry. Shelf of opportunity. So this is up on the wall. Now this is when you go in your happy place and you're looking, you've had a struggle. Something's happened. So a recent client, she was struggling at work. She had some conflict at work that she was trying to resolve. She didn't know where to go, what to do. She's really actually very stressed out about it. And we talked through about what the shelf of opportunity was for her. And so instead of her going down the negative road, so this was at work, and getting all wrapped into work and all this thing, she talked about how she spent a whole week stressing out about it. And I was like, why didn't you reach out and talk to me, and we could have addressed some of these things? And so we talked about this shelf of opportunity on the wall in her happy place. What are the opportunities that are present in front of you now? Now, we can always look at the negative, but we want to look at the flip side of the coin. What are the opportunities that you can take advantage of right now? So for her, some of the opportunities were take time off. She could go visit her mom. She could go out of state to go travel or go visit her mom. She could get outside and walk. She could go do some fun, exciting things that she hadn't done in a while, like go see a movie. It was many months before she went to see a movie. Go out and treat herself to a massage, a pedicure, mani, all those things, like your favorite meal. Go treat yourself to a delicious dish at your favorite restaurant. Mine's sushi. I love sushi. It's something I want more of. So on the shelf, so what she determined from this very stressful week, what the opportunities were some of them that I just presented to you. What she chose to do, she called off work for 2 or 3 days so that she could collect herself, so that she could de-stress and get away from that negative environment. She was trying to leave her job and shift into a new one, and there's a lot of pressure for her to kind of abandon what she wanted and kind of fall back into old habits. So this was a lot of conflict for her. So she chose to cancel work. She got a massage. She ended up going for a hike out in the local wooded trail. She went to a movie. She had a delicious dish that she really enjoyed, and those were some of the things that she did, and she was like rejuvenated. And those were the opportunities that she saw on her shelf, rather than, downward spiraling in the negativity of work and the gossip and the stress and how that she could have just eaten a bunch of crap food and not gotten any sleep, maybe even had alcohol or worse. And so she chose to look at her shelf of opportunity and see what is so cool that is going to help give her great experiences in life and get away from that negativity and shift to the positive. Now, and last up, so on next to all those opportunities, I want to talk about the stereo that you see. Now, the one that I have in my barn is this it's a blend of some old stuff and some new speakers, but it has this one, it's wooded, and it's got this real fantastic design in it. I really like it. And so the stereo, so what does it look like? Is it simple black sleek? Is it more ornate? Is it from the 70s? Does it play 8 tracks? Does it play CDs? Is it just your iPod or iPhone or whatever gadget you got these days? So in the stereo, what we have is their soundtrack of awesome. Now, the soundtrack of awesome is you want to look into your life about important times that have been marked in time by happy, exciting times. Currently on my soundtrack of awesome, I've got Katy Perry, Rise. I've got Rudimental, Not Giving In. I've got what else? I have Celebration by Kool and the Gang. I've got Thunderstruck, AC/DC, one of my favorites to jam out to. That gets me pumped up so quick. And so what else? I have some Skrillex songs. I've got some old Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. I've got what else? I've got Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson, and it reminds me of my wife. I've got Centuries by Fall Out Boy, and Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake from my kids. These are things that I hear on my soundtrack of awesome. And when I have these loaded up, whether I'm working or whether I have another one, Life Will Never Be the Same with Tony Robbins. I'm a firewalker. I've gone to 2 of his events, and it was a fabulous time. He's a peak performance specialist, amazing person, and really knows his stuff. And so there's this one song that they just totally cranked out for you, and you got indoctrinated to walking on fire, on hot coals. And that one, that gives me chills and energy like you'd never believe. And so these are things that you want to remind you of very positive times, events in your life that you can really kind of sit back. So you can have it a high energy song, or it could be a chill song, but all of them are going to give you really good things. And this is something else I want you to stop and write down. I want you to write down what is on your soundtrack of awesome. Come up with at least 10. You have to have at least 10 songs that kind of get you juiced, excited, set you in a calm, happy state, and really make things possible for you. So that's the soundtrack of awesome. That's something you want to be playing regularly to keep you in a positive, upbeat state. So let's go over this stuff. We talked about your happy place. Who is it for? What is it? Why have it? How to create it? And when to call on it. We talked about where is it? Where's the physical location? Where is it at? Is it on a beach, a mountain, a woods? Then as you walked up, what did it look like? How did you describe it inside your mind's eye and writing it down? What is it made of? As you walk up, you open the doors, and what do you see when you walk into the room? And inside the room, no one is allowed in your happy place. And it is built on a fabulous foundation that you sit in your chair of confidence that's on top of the rug of relentlessness, that has the belief table next to it, that has the brag and gratitude journal on it. And then you look over and you see all the frames of fantastic on the wall that inspire you and encourage you. And then on the wall you see the shelf of opportunity that gives you all the positive and outlets that you can choose to do next. And on there's also the stereo that plays the soundtrack of awesome of you. And those are all powerful tools that I need you to dive into, to sink your teeth into, to grab a hold of and be strong. And when you leave your happy place, you are a new person. Whatever you shed and you left, whatever negativity, negative energy, disempowerment off. You shook it off and left it outside. It blew away in the wind. And you walked in there to claim your power once again and to be strong and confident. And then from there, you leave that place in that state and you hold on to that state for as long as possible. And this is by doing these tools regularly, constantly checking in on yourself and creating this positive environment inside your mind. This is mindset. This is something you have to do daily. And if you don't do daily, it will fade away. Your vividness of the beauty of your happy place will fade. It will be no more. It will be hard to find. You'll get lost easy because nobody can get there except you. You'll get lost because you're surrounded in a shroud of dark. And we don't want that. So this is something that needs to be done daily. I hope you've enjoyed this training. I hope that you've taken really great notes. I hope that this is the 5th time you've listened to this to make sure that you are getting these powerful tools that are going to set the remaining years of your life in action. The most powerful, confident, influential, and people that actually get stuff done do gratitude. They do these things. They listen to positive. They surround themselves with positivity. They are encouraged. Elite athletes. They know no stop. They don't stop. They move forward. You are your own elite athlete. You are you, and I want you to stand strong in who you are, and I want you to refer to the happy place every single day.